Most Indians whom I know personally believe in the idea of saving. It is quite reasonable to say that the tendency to save is deeply rooted in India's culture. But how about America and other nations? Let's see what the available data shows. An amount of $1,000 is already too much for many Americans to have in their bank savings. In 2016, a survey by Go Banking Rates revealed that 34% of Americans have no money in the bank and 69% of Americans do not even have $1,000 in savings. On the other hand, at 22%, India's households are known for maintaining a very high savings share of their income. In comparison, this is just 6 to 7% in the USA, 2.5% in Japan, and 9 to 10% in Germany. These savings provide Indian economy a very useful buffer. A 2019 report by the World Economic Forum system states that in India, household savings have historically been high, as thrifty and cautious Indian families put away more than a fifth of their incomes for a rainy day. This buffer provides support to domestic consumption expenditure even through challenging cycles in economic activity. Now, this may come as a surprise to some of you, but India's future is brighter than many nations when it comes to inequality and the fair distribution of wealth. In India, 1 in 4 households today belong to upper middle income and high income groups, but this is going to improve further. By 2030, 1 in 2 households in India will belong in the high income or upper middle class category. The report also states that by that time, India will also lift nearly 25 million households out of poverty to reduce the share of households below the poverty line to 5%, down from 15% today. Thus, India represents a relatively broad-based pattern of growth and benefit sharing, in contrast to the global scenario of increasing inequality, wherein the richest 10% of the population is capturing an increasing share of national incomes and consequently wealth. In the macro context, India's economy has some impressive structural strengths that makes it relatively resilient to the external shocks. India is a domestic consumption-driven economy. Nearly 60% of India's GDP is driven by domestic private consumption, as compared to 40% in China. With the Indian attitude of saving and with the country's massive pool of young-age population, India finds itself in a very advantageous position. But will the country make the most of this opportunity? Hi, I am Karolina Goswami. Have you checked my latest episode on the situation of women's safety in Australian universities? The episode is available on my other YouTube channel, IID International. See you again.